Welcome everyone to Meditation Mount and the full moon meditation held in the sun sign of Aquarius when the full moon is in Leo. The exact time of the alignment will be at 11:16 tomorrow morning. But let's begin as we normally do by gathering together in virtual space and connecting the various hearts and parts of the world present on this call. So take a few deep breaths and enter the stillness of your heart. Become aware of the beating of your heart as it pulses the blessings of the one life throughout the universe of self. And centered in our own heart, we connect heart to heart, to heart, to heart, as we weave together a lighted matrix of love. And as we hear the sound of the Tibetan bowl resonating through the ethers, we affirm that we are a coherent and connected field of joyful service through the resonance of the group heart. Thank you. So Aquarius is an air sign whose influence stimulates our spiritual capacity to love and to serve the common good. And as you're probably all familiar with, its symbol is the water bearer. And the keynote is, "Water of life am I, poured forth for thirsty people. Water of life am I, poured forth for thirsty people." This water, though, is the water of life. It's not the wet waters of the earth. This is an air sign, and it's pouring forth the blessings of spirit. So let's have a look at the makeup of Aquarius. And we can start by reviewing the ray energies connected with Aquarius. And for those of you who are not familiar with the science of the rays, simply picture a rainbow. And now, instead of only seeing the 7 colors of the rainbow, imagine that each color represents a living presence and a specific energy in the 7-fold spectrum that is the expression of the one life in time and space. So keeping that image in mind of the 7 rays, the 7 qualities, the 7 energies, let's have a look at the dominant energies of the sign of Aquarius. And they are the 2nd ray of love wisdom, the 4th ray of harmony through conflict, and the 7th ray of order and organization. And these help to establish right relationship, and they anchor spiritual energy in material form. So if you take all 3 of these rays and their specific qualities, they represent a perfect combination to aid in the reimagination of our world, the renaissance of the soul in all its diverse cultural expressions, and the deep healing that is needed. So we are in Aquarius this month. We are that part of the sky through which the constellation of Aquarius influences us. And we get a deeper sense this month of the greater cycle that we're entering, which is the age of Aquarius. So we're getting sort of a micro view and a micro sense of what we're entering as the larger age of Aquarius. And one of the hallmarks of the age of Aquarius is that the collective heart of humanity will be awakened. It's the opening of the heart, which is really the birth of goodwill. And the awakening of the heart is actually enshrined in the very first article of the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights, because it reads that all human beings should act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood. There is another difference that we can remind ourselves of as we move between these two ages. And these two ages are defined as the Piscean age, which was governed mainly by the sixth realism and devotion, and the Aquarian age with its seventh ray influence. So let me offer an illustration of one of the distinctions. In the age that we're leaving now, the sixth ray had a tendency to crystallize our beliefs and crystallize our social structures, making them fairly difficult to easily and gracefully change whenever they were needed to be changed. So the Piscean age really brings things into form and anchors them, and it's like crystallized form. There's a positive side to having a crystallized form. It's permanent, it's there. However, when you need to change, it can be more difficult to break it up and to allow something new to come in. So if we think of the Piscean age having crystallized forms, let us see the Aquarian age with its seventh ray influence having forms that are more like liquid crystal. So what do I mean by that? The very screen you're looking at right now is a liquid crystal display. And the reason you're seeing images that move and mimic exactly what is happening in real time is because there is an ability of liquid crystal to accurately, in the moment, transmit impulses from the source and show them real time as is. Every millisecond it refreshes and shows a new image. So liquid crystal responds and changes moment by moment and reflects on the outside what is the pulsing note on the inside. So one of the strengths of the seven ray that it maintains a dynamic and fluid integrity between purpose and form. So this is one of the things we can look forward to in the coming centuries. Imagine a future, an Aquarian society, where what we put in place can be changed in the moment on the form level while retaining an inner integrity that is always aligned to the core values and principles. And the Aquarian society is intended to be governed by our better angels. So I offer that as a distinction between the sixth ray Piscean age of crystallized forms, and those are the ones that we're needing to break up now. And we're moving into a more fluid dance with life in the seventh ray, where we have, if you like, liquid crystal as the way of expressing. Another thing to note that is each zodiacal sign has associated with it a quality of light. And for Aquarius, the quality of light is called the light which ever shines within the dark, cleansing with its healing rays that which must be purified until the dark is gone. Let me repeat that. The light of Aquarius is called the light which ever shines within the dark, cleansing with its healing rays that which must be purified until the dark is gone. So this is exactly the support we need as we begin the collective task of cleaning our global house and initiating a process of healing, which is the bringing of the light of love into the dark places of our collective psyche. And as I hear these words describing the quality of light, I'm reminded of the final lines of Amanda Gorman's poem that she recited during the recent presidential inauguration. So let me read them. When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it, for there is always light. If only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it. So let's repeat Amanda's words so that they sink in. When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it, for there is always light. If we're only brave enough to see it, if we're only brave enough to be it. So these are the influences present in Aquarius. These are the influences flooding the ethers this month and offering us these opportunities. So with these things in heart and mind, Diana will now lead us in the meditation in the solar sign of Aquarius.
Thank you, Michael. What a beautiful talk about the rays 247 and the color. That is the healing color and the liquid crystal. I love all of those concepts so much. The sign of Aquarius, as we come kind of hobbling into the new year with so much hope in our heart for the new, for that what is coming, and for what we've been sort of waiting for, and there's still so much work to do. And the idea that as we come into the new year with our heart full of hope, the first thing we encounter is what is yet to be healed. And so this color that's around me even feels like liquid crystal. And the color that we hold sort of in the meditation is that deep blue violet color. That liquid crystal is part of what this healing is. As we go into the meditation, we'll use that and shine that, the rays, 2, 4, 7th ray, that creates an electrical energy field that is literally healing at the highest vibration, right? That we know how to touch, how to hold, how to meet. And I always love the image of the Aquarian as pouring the water. And if you see the symbolic image of Aquarius, it goes like this, right? And it's water. But it's also the symbol for electricity, you know? And so it's that transmutation from one thing to another, the alchemy, right? From the crystallization of a crystal to the liquid crystal. And that violet light that emanates, radiates from our own consciousness. When we touch that point, when we move into our meditation, we're going to touch that place where that radiation is known by the soul and then by the self. So it is so powerful. And it's such an opportunity to create more light. We're in a time right now where we have to wait a little longer about so many subjects because we're in a push. And the other day I got to hear the beautiful talk at Meditation Mount online called Signs of Hope, which is still up there actually. And it was with Michael and Dr. Dot Maver and also Dr. Julie Kroll. And they were talking about hope. And they were talking about waiting for the bloom, waiting for the birth, waiting as like midwives. And the example one person used was the idea of the beautiful caterpillar turning into a butterfly. And it's such a great image, right? That it's in one state and moving to another state. Metamorphosis, right? Transmutation in our life. We can see something that does that, right? That moves from a caterpillar to a butterfly. And if you try to prematurely open the chrysalis before it of its own comes forth, it is nothing's there. It's just goo, right? It's still in process. And I kind of feel like that's where we are a little bit. And we are group holding, right? For this new age, for this new time, for this new consciousness. And so I wanted to bring those thoughts in for things to kind of set the field, set the tone as we move into our meditation of Aquarius, solar, and Leo heart, moon, right? The Leo, the bravery, the courage to stand there in the changes. So here we go. So when you're ready to, set yourself up how you want to be. If you can, your spine is straight as it can be. You can sit in a chair, you can sit on the floor, but be comfortable in your space. Line your spine, all the chakras that are within that spinal system. And we'll use a few breaths to balance the fields. I'm going to use this bell to use as a symbol for the Om. So when you're ready to, we're going to balance the physical body by taking a deep breath, inhale. And as you exhale, balancing the physical body. And then when you're ready to, take another breath to balance the emotional body. Inhaling and exhaling as a group, we blend our hearts together. One heart, one consciousness, a one life. And then balancing the mental field, taking a breath, inhale, and exhaling. And at the heart center, become aware of the mother of the world, the earth heart, the sacred Gaia. And we stand as representative and shepherd and custodian for our beautiful blue earth. And feel yourself move into the heart chakra, the heart center, and sense the collective, sense the community, sense the lighted houses, sense all of the consciousness in this group, in this meditation, in our world, around the world, all of these lights of awareness, holding steady, holding constant for the evolution of humanity and our world, heart to heart, feeling the group of us the community of us, spiritual family, home. We are one life. And from this heart center, like a beautiful lotus within the heart, from the center of the lotus, allow a line of light, silvery light, moving from the heart of the lotus to the heart of the head. And take your seat here as conscious soul. Immediately as you do so, the crown opens and you begin to sense the light of the soul, ever present. And you feel the grace of this light that shines upon you, that aligns you, soul with self, light to light. And from the place of that head center, feeling that line of light to the soul, to the heart of the soul, to the heart of the sun, to the heart of the Christ. All the way to the heart of Sirius. Take your place as conscious soul, awakened. I am the soul. Om. And we will use a seed thought for the silent part of our meditation. And the silent part will be about 10 minutes. So here is our seed thought tonight. I realize the divine plan in my mind, my heart, my life, my breath, and thus I become imbued. I realize the divine plan in my mind, my heart, my life, my breath, and thus I become imbued. I realize the divine plan in my mind, my heart, my life, my breath, and thus I become imbued. We realize the divine plan in our minds, our hearts, our lives, our breath, and thus we become imbued. Om. The Aquarius keynote, water of life am I, poured forth for those who thirst. Feel that blue-white radiance moving like a halo from you and around you and beyond you. To hold the whole planet in awareness and in light. And in the second ray, fourth ray, seventh ray. Feel the community of light that we are. Feel the consciousness of light that we are. And we'll finish with the great invocation, the adopted version. If you know it, you can say it out loud or within yourself, or just hear the words, the vibration. It's all about vibration. As you let this meditation even more become physically known by your brain, by your cells, by your breath. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into human minds. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into human hearts. May the coming one return to earth. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide all little human wills, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center, which we call the human race, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth.
Thank you, Diana. Let's stay a while in this energy field imbued with love, with hearts open, knowing that the great lotus of the human heart, once it opens, reveals the jewel at its center. And that jewel is our own essential divinity. From December the 21st to February the 20th, here at Meditation Mount, we focus on the pathway or law of right human relations, which is right relations with each other among peoples, but also right relations with the full ecosystem of Gaia, both visible and invisible. So it seems very apt as we talk about healing and the power of love that we should be focusing on the pathway of right human relations. So let us continue our work together, completing it with a blessing, and with love imbuing us, ensouling us. Let us hold the world inside the group heart that is gathered today. And we see the needed process of healing of the separated parts. The presently dismembered body of our humanity that is seeking to remember itself, that is seeking to enter into a new state of wholeness. And wholeness is healing. The body of humanity that is seeking to enter into a more perfect union with all life. And I will be sounding the Tibetan bowl 3 times. And at each sounding, let us breathe out a wave of love, sending it around the world to touch the hearts and minds of people everywhere, of all beings, calling forth healing, calling forth unity, calling forth the love that lives within the heart of all things. So let us breathe these blessings 3 times to the sound of the bowl. Thank you, everyone. A couple of announcements before we have some closing remarks. On Valentine's Day, which is Sunday, February the 14th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, is our next View from the Mount. and we'll be exploring the whole process of healing. Sunday, February the 21st at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time will be the second in our series of Signs of Hope, New Stories Shaping a Better World. And on Friday, February the 26th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we'll meet for our next full moon meditation in the solar sign of Pisces. So thank you everyone for gathering together. It's really important that we gather in the group heart and that we utilize the power of the group heart as a force for good in the world. We have now embarked upon a collective process of healing. And once we begin that process of healing, we will realize the joy that comes from being whole, not only individually whole, whole in our families, but whole as a human family, and whole when we as a species, rich and full, enter into a deeper relationship with Gaia. So thank you. Let us go into the coming days with love in our hearts, and may we be a source of blessing. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time. Blessings from Meditation Mount. Namaste.